Hey there, Wondering Watchers. Thank you for tuning into my channel and welcome to this Love Pick a Card reading that explores the connection between you and your person to see if the two of you are meant to be together. Whether you're in a committed relationship, newly dating, or sniffing out a potential crush, this reading jumps right in to reveal the true potential for a happy ever after. Keep in mind that these cards only provide perspective. You have agency over your life and you make the decisions about how you experience it. It's your choices and your actions that lead to your ultimate truth. For those ready right now to find out if you and your person are meant to be, the link to each reading is in the description box below. I have in front of me 4 piles of cards. Pile number 1, Dream Vision Tarot. Pile number 2, Modern Love Tarot. Pile 3, Witchy Magic Tarot, and Pile 4, Love Story Oracle. Pick the pile or piles of cards that you feel drawn to. Feel free to pause this video if you need more time to review the deck choices. If you don't get messages you are hoping for in any of the readings, then it may not be for your best and highest good to hear such messages at this time. Just let the information flow through you and take whatever resonates. Once you've made your decision, go to the description box and click on the link for the corresponding deck. Now it's time to tap into the cards, choose your made for each other tarot adventure, and let's make magic happen. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 1, those who picked Dream Vision Tarot, to explore whether you and the person on your mind are meant to be. So group number 1, we're going to start off with tarot cards and then pull some oracle cards to find out what's going on with your person, with your connection, and whether this relationship is meant to last. Okay, so group number 1, here we have the twins, the equivalent of the Lovers card. So for you, your current feelings about this relationship, it's like you are willing to make a life change for this person. You are really looking at this person as a potential soulmate, love match, life partner, someone that you are really wanting to kind of go the distance with. In terms of your partner's feelings, their emotions and attitudes and wants from this relationship, they really are drawn to you. They kind of want to be courageous and support this connection, support you. They really want to, it's like they're fired up about it. They almost really don't care what other people think. It's not like it's a bad thing, but they feel really drawn and really headed in this, almost like wherever you're going, it's like they're headed in that way as well. They have a really positive attitude about this connection. So in terms of that connection, we have here the 8 of Pentacles. So you perhaps have common interests like hobbies, things that you're really spending time and attention on, maybe even work together. But you're both really putting in that effort for this connection to last. So here in terms of the Star, this is the strength of your relationship. It's really what makes it amazing is the hope that this is the one, that this is going to be everything that you dreamed of. Like, you're both putting an effort to make this wish come true with your relationship. In terms of, the weaknesses of the relationship, you have the Five of Pentacles. So it could be, as simple as you need to save your resources. Maybe you're both spending a little bit too much, and you need to try to find things to do, date night ideas that are good for the budget. But it also could be that there are, moments of feeling that you're not living up to the other person's expectations, or not feeling necessarily fully accepted or fully valued is the word I'm thinking of. Actually, I'm going to move these closer together. All right, so in terms of what needs to be addressed for your relationship to be successful, you have the Sun here. So almost a sense of really live in that joy and that happiness, and almost don't be afraid to just say how happy you are, or to show how much this is lighting up your life. And in terms of potential for this person to be the one, we have the Magician. The Magician's the one that makes magic happen. I would say in terms of a key aspect of your connection, having good communication is going to be it's going to be a key aspect of your relationship, and help you both in moments where you need to discuss things that are uncomfortable, not amazingly sexy, things that are serious. And the Magician, this is a person who's aware of their resources and their talents and their skills and how to apply them. So in terms of if there are issues with the resources, just discussing them, kind of even making a budget, even if you aren't in a relationship where you're sharing a bank account or telling each other how much money you make, almost just kind of talking about how much is a good budget for you guys to spend on vacations, or doing this, that, or the other. So we are going to dive into these a little bit more. So group number one, in terms of your twins or your lovers cards here, you have this life purpose. So you can see these rays of light streaming out from the heart there. And so you are really, really dedicated to making sure that whatever this connection is, and it might not be this connection because of the person, but as opposed to the timing being right for you, you're really making sure that this connection is right for you, that it fits in line with what your goals are, that it fits in line with your being true to yourself and what it is that you want to accomplish, or how you want to move through life. You might not know exactly all the goals that you have, that you want to do A, B, C, and D, but it's a sense of you really feeling your way and kind of almost having a moral code, or standards and boundaries about what you'll accept and won't accept. And this relationship is really fitting in with that. And you've got love again. So group number one, this connection for you is really coming from the heart. You're really having a great positive outlook for this, and you have abundance. So looking at things with, endless possibilities, abundant mindset. That's wonderful. It's interesting you have this as the weakness. So just know there's practical aspects of abundance that come through. There's somebody has to pay the check at the end of the meal. But basically, it seems like you are coming at this relationship for all the right reasons, it's like you are willing to show up and participate fully, knowing that like you deserve it, like you deserve something just as good. So let's find out more about your person. We have here the garden. So your person, their attitude is really like this connection that you have is blooming, it's flourishing. There is so much there to enjoy. There is so much benefit from this relationship, maybe not necessarily even just between the two of you, but it's a sense of recognizing that there is a force either coming from you or between you that is really putting things into place and making things like bloom and grow and prosper for your person. And it could be like, this aspect of addressing that your connection is really putting a lot of positive energy into both of your lives. So let's find out more about what's going on with your person. We have here surrender. So they really feel like there is no need to compete or to try to like prove anything. They are fully like accepting that this connection that you have makes sense, that it's like you are connected and interconnected like these circles in a way that it's almost like, there's nothing that they need to prove. There's nothing they need to point, to test, I want to say. There's nothing that they feel they need to challenge. It's like fully accepting of this connection between the two of you. And we have energy, again, with this sun here. So as much as you are, coming from a place of love, they're coming from a place of recognizing and it's like their higher self and their spirit. If it's one, maybe you see it as one, but I see it as kind of like, almost like their consciousness and like their drive, I'll say, are kind of working together to help them see like this is the right place, this is the right person at the right time to kind of get me where I need to go or want to be. And like there's really no, no argument about it. That's what I want to say. There's no argument about it. So let's find out more about the connection, strength, and weaknesses for each of you. So group number 1, for you in terms of this connection, it says vanity and self-absorption. Interesting. So what binds you together, maybe you guys have a certain viewpoint of people you find to be superficial, or perhaps there is an attempt or effort to make sure that you are not being like that you're like going deeper. And so for you, this work is either recognizing that this connection that you have seems like with this love, this energy, abundance, the Queen of Wands, the Twins or the Lovers card, seems like the sexual chemistry is really good. So for you, how you connect, it's as if you want to make sure that it's more on a higher level and not necessarily coming from a place of just sensual aspects, though it seems like there's definitely a lot of positive energy and sensuality going on there. So in terms of your star strength, let's see what that is for you. We have perceptiveness and vision. So group number 1, in terms of like the strength of your relationship, for you, it could be that you are someone who helps your partner kind of see things from different perspectives, to really take the mundane and make it more exciting. You've got this attitude of abundance here. So it could be that that the strength for you is like kind of helping your partner recognize that this is not too good to be true. This is something that's happening for the both of you, and you almost like you both deserve it, and you're both putting in that effort. Like you're helping make that more apparent, I should say. So in terms of the 5 of Pentacles weakness for you, group number 1, you have bravery, sacrifice. So it could be, to a certain degree, you are sacrificing things that you might want for yourself. Maybe it's, your resources, like time for your friends, time alone. Perhaps you're even spending more money than your partner, or more than you would like. So here it's something for you to kind of consider, and like not necessarily, I'm not necessarily saying be stingy or spend all your time with other people. It's just something for you to consider, to recognize, because I mean you have here a pretty good reading so far. So we are going to take a look at your person in terms of the connection for them, this 8 of Pentacles. We have here hero icon. So it does seem like your person might really be in awe of you, that basically they're working on this relationship to make sure they are just as awesome as you. It seems like for them and this connection, to some degree, it's like it's making me think of you guys like sitting around talking about movies or drawings or something along those lines. I could be thinking of like comic books, but or even like maybe you two, when I think about like this, like exterior versus interior, or superficial and not superficial, it could be that part of what connects you is like actually working on things, like drawing things, creating things, building things. Maybe you guys have art projects together. Or maybe you actually are working on, rebuilding a chair, or, building furniture or something along those lines. But it does seem like kind of stepping up and being on that same page as you is kind of that 8 of Pentacles connection for them. So I dropped some cards here, and I'm going to pick them up because I want you to be able to see all the potential that your person has here. So in terms of the strength of your relationship and the star, let's see what it is for them. Strawberries, fertility, and youth. So it seems like in terms of this being like their wish come true and like it being a reality, they just are so attracted to you. They are really like, this is kind of like that red energy, that fiery passion in the garden. They are so drawn to you, and it's like they just want to savor you. If they aren't openly complimentary, there are ways that you know that you are turning them on. They just want to like be with you. They just want to kind of like touch you and like make you feel good, and basically very sexual vibes coming off of this. So it does seem at least that there's a lot of attraction, positive sexual tension there. So let's see for your person what's going on with this Five of Pentacles and the weakness. We have subversion and defeat with this water hemlock. So to some degree, it's almost a sense of too good to be true, or they're not good enough for you. And it's almost a sense of like, they feel like maybe you are, because they see you almost like on a higher level, they feel like maybe there's things going on in a relationship, like maybe you have a higher like status in terms of where you are in your career, or you have more confidence. To some degree, it's like they are maybe a little down on themselves at times. And it could be that this bravery sacrifice that you have for that, the Five of Pentacles weakness, it could be that you are maybe going above and beyond to ease their concerns. Like I said, maybe spending less time with other people, or maybe even like making yourself seem like not as awesome, so that you're kind of, it's like you're trying to maybe lower yourself to their level, but might not be necessary at all for that. So let's take a look here at the Sun and this Magician here for what you can do. Let's see here. What you can do, or what you can address, so that this relationship is successful. You have abundance again. So really being in a place of recognizing that you are both worthy of this connection, that you both have a lot of positive things going on for you, and more can come. So definitely, if there is like a pay wage differential there, almost like, I would say, don't just go out and like spend like buy everyone rounds of drinks because you know you have this abundant mindset, but almost a sense of just like helping them be more grateful for what they have, and not necessarily focus on the dollar amount, but what they have and how it helps to put them in a position to have met you, to be with you, to enjoy time with you, and Focus on those aspects and being grateful. That seems to that's something that would be helpful. And action. So group number 1, it seems like they see you as like someone who is going places. They see you as someone who is like center of attention. They're really drawn to you. It's almost like I think I said they'd follow you anywhere or be with you anywhere. So it's a sense of like recognizing that this is a great relationship and a great connection, but that there are certain things that you need to do to keep in line with your life purpose, and to take opportunities to move for what's good for you and not necessarily what's good for what you think they might want. And again, that concept of like communicating is really key. So making sure there aren't just assumptions made about what they might want, but actually discussing it. And we have here winter. So something, you've got all this sun energy, this positive aspects. I would say this is more about almost like you guys are in a position where you can talk about those things that you haven't been talking about, that, you know, like the more serious things, and things that you need to kind of prepare for. So if it's all just been, well, not all, for the majority been like just fun and sexy and just everything's positive and going good, actually having discussions about like, you know, in the winter when resources are scarce, it's making me think of like addressing those issues. And dream big. So group number 1 with this relationship with the star and all these other positive cards, it's kind of like you are going in a really great direction with how you are approaching this. And honestly, it's, if you are wanting this to kind of be more serious, move in together, get engaged, it's pretty much like that you can manifest that, especially with this magician here. So let's see for your person, what is it that they can do, or what is it that they should address to help this relationship be successful. We have here voyage. So group number 1, for some of you, if there is a situation where, let's say, you have the opportunity to get a good job, a better job, and move somewhere, maybe don't just assume that they wouldn't want you to move. Maybe they'd want to go with you. Maybe they really see this as you two going somewhere together. So it's almost as if they needed to move for you, they would. And we have embracing. So group number 1, your person, they're really trying to be realistic about things. And also, they're wanting to really be in your world of abundance and positive thinking. It's not like they are far from it. It just seems like the cards on their end, definitely these energy and the fertility, youth, it's like the sexual chemistry is very strong for them, and their views of you are very like strong and high. But in terms of like for their role, it's almost as if they are still working on accepting who they are and their place when it comes to the world and with you, and knowing that, you know, it's okay for you to kind of be all that in a bag of chips, and that they are on a different on a different level, but not when it comes to you. I would say to others it might seem that way, but when it comes to you, it's like it doesn't matter. It's almost like kind of like a shoe shine person and a CEO of some major company. Like, it objectively, people might say, how are those two together? But for you, it's like it makes sense, and they are recognizing that. So we have here on course. So they definitely, with this strength being the star, they are absolutely recognizing that things are just getting better and better for you too. And, you know, basically, they just need to keep doing what they're doing, because you seem to be okay with that. And trip, again, this concept of trip, voyage. So like I said, group number 1, if there is some place, maybe even this is just a vacation and not necessarily moving entirely, but they definitely want to be with you and want to take that voyage and that journey with you and really just want to be where you are. So group number 1, I hope that this provides a helpful perspective of whether you and your person are meant to be, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 2, those who picked Modern Love Tarot, to explore whether you and the person on your mind are meant to be. So we are going to start off with some tarot cards and follow up with oracle cards to find out what's going on with your person, with your connection, and whether it is meant to be. So group number 2, you have here the Queen of Wands. So this represents your feelings about the relationship, your approach, your outlook. You are feeling good. You are really, wanting to be more sensual, really feeling passionate and brave, even a little bit rebellious when it comes to this relationship. Rebellious in a way of, like, maybe in the past you would have been more hesitant, or would have maybe let them make the moves, but you're kind of really being feisty and feeling good about this connection. When it comes to your person, we have here the Ace of Wands. So their attitude, they are also feeling that passion. They are feeling that sexual chemistry. They are really drawn to you. So what you're doing here with this Queen of Wands energy, they are digging it and they are wanting more. So here we have the Four of Wands. This is the connection that you have. And basically it could be that you both are really being more adventurous in life, celebrating life. Maybe are both kind of in places in your life where you are kind of making achievements in personal life and really connecting on those, and like seeing how you really make a good support group with each other. Just a support group that makes it sound like you have like an addiction, maybe addiction to this chemistry and passion, but no, it's more like you are in a place that's really good for you individually, and it's really opening up more doors for you, more paths like for you to explore and wanting to go down those paths together. So here, the strength of your connection, you have the Strength card. It is really like you are both wanting to show up for this connection. You've got a lot of fire energy. So perhaps you are fire signs. Maybe you're both Leos, or someone's a Sagittarius and the other is an Aries. But you could be any sign, but really this energy of like going after what you want, stepping up and following your heart, really not just, it's almost like you each will allow the other to shine and kind of take a step back and then swap that up. So no one's really competing for the spotlight. It's like you're really working together off of each other's vibe. It's like you're feeding off of each other's vibe, and it's really, really like a strong point of your connection. So in terms of the weakness, you have here the Hermit. So for some of you, perhaps you guys have totally jumped into this connection and don't have a life outside of, just the two of you. For others of you, though, group number 2, the weakness here is almost like needing time for yourselves, not just from other people, but time for yourself, and making sure that you continue to do what is for your best and highest good, what's on your path, and possibly even just like making sure that this confidence that you have spreads out along everything that you're doing in life, and not just like this was a cool way for us, this feisty attitude, this like energy we have. It really drew us together, and it makes like things really passionate, and then just kind of get in almost like a routine. That's kind of like what I'm feeling. Like the weakness is potentially could be a routine, or you might just keep it just between the two of you as well. So in terms of what needs to be addressed, and you have here the 3 of Swords. So there might be some kind of disagreement, something from your past, both of your pasts, or this is coming up in the future. There's going to be something that is going to need to be addressed, and it does seem like it's going to be significant. It might not be a one-shot deal, but here keeping this concept of like being confident and going after what you want, almost like not shirking away from that confidence when it comes to having discussions, hard or difficult discussions, and making sure maybe your ego doesn't get in the way too much, especially with all this fire energy, and kind of recognize that there, with all sorts of fire, someone might get burned. But let's see what the potential is for this person to be the one for you. You have the 6 of Swords here. So here with the 3 of Swords, it's almost as if the potential of this person being the one for you depends on how you both think and communicate about disappointments. Some upset, almost a sense of like, there's so much passion and positive energy going on. Is there a concern or a fear to discuss things that aren't just like awesome all the time? But here it seems like there is something needs to be addressed, or it needs to be addressed, and it has to do with like actually dealing with hurt emotions, or expectations that weren't met, or just what the expectations were in the first place. And really it seems like being able to move through that because it's not comfortable, and it can be a tendency to like lash out, especially with this like fiery Leo energy, lion energy, this like fierceness. It might be a tendency for tempers or to lash out. So just to be aware that really how you support each other through this can kind of make or break it. Now you have the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck, where so this connection here is it's got limitless possibilities, and it seems like there might be some inner child-like issues when it comes to these upsets, like maybe, you know, hurt feelings or aspects of your childhood that it was difficult for you to talk about, meaning like if you know, when someone hurt your feelings, you kind of went off in a corner and sulked, and that's kind of what's going on here. Just recognizing that's kind of a situation or potential for a situation, but it seems for the most part that there's a lot of fiery energy, positive, happy energy, and we're going to see kind of like what else is going on there. So for group number 2, you have here the Garden. So this indicates like you are really wanting to be in a place of embracing your sensuality, your sexuality, embracing how things feel, really being in a place of just positivity and everything you'd want. In terms of actually putting in the work, we'll take a look. So let's see what else we have for you for group number 2. You have Magic. So the way you feel about this relationship, the way you see it, it's like you definitely feel the chemistry between the two of you. You kind of are, all I can say, it's like an energy and like a sensation. I don't know, maybe it's like butterflies in your stomach or like an electric charge, but the connection that you have, and you have this Hunger card here, it's a sense of like really, when you're together, it's like an electric chemistry, and when you're apart, you really want to be together. You really, this Hunger, you got this lion shirt on the Queen of Wands. It's like you are really jonesing for this person, for this connection. It's something that it's like any day of the week you will show up for this connection. So let's see for them. Let's see what's going on with your person. Oh, we have 2 cards. Interesting. Okay, so we have spiritual maturity and boundaries. So for them, this is something that the spiritual maturity, it's kind of trying to look at the long-term picture, not just for the like instant gratification. They are very much trying to figure out there's a tiger right there, the boundaries between them and you, what feels good and what is good for them. And really they see you as kind of irresistible, and it might be that they are going to need to kind of spend some time figuring out like if you are just a temptation or if you are someone who like they can go the distance with. We have here this Peace card. So to some degree, your person, they don't want drama. It could be that because you have a sense of like feistiness, and that's kind of what drew them to you and what they were wanting with you. They want to make sure that whatever it is, the connection between you, that there's not drama, and you have flow here. So they kind of just want it to be easy breezy, and so you might feel like for them, like you're down for this any day of the week, and they seem to be too, but they might be kind of putting up a little bit of barriers so that they can make sure other aspects of their life are going in the direction that they want, and that things are easy with you. They don't necessarily want to be in a position of this Three of Swords, but it could be that they're taking this approach because maybe in the past they've been burned, or they have like issues with their ex, where things got out of control. So let's take a look at some more cards here to expand on the connection, strength, and weakness of the relationship. So for you, in terms of the connection here, the Four of Wands, you have monkey ball, weight, rigidity. So the connection, what is really like binding you to, it's almost as if you are willing to put yourself like wind yourself in their life. Like I know it says weight, rigidity, but it's seeing like these things to me are kind of like winding together. So it's as if this connection for you, like this happy party celebration connection, you really are making it so that, you know, you can be there and like get involved in their life, their friendship. Maybe that's part of the boundaries. Maybe they're trying to make sure that if you're coming out, hanging out with people they know, it's people that, you know, they feel comfortable with you hanging out with. Not like necessarily like they're embarrassed or anything. It's just they're trying to have like a healthy separation of this connection with you and how things are in their other world. Like I said, it could be that they have issues in the past with other people. So in terms of the strength, being strength, you have reliance and friendship. So for you, it could be that you are someone who's fun, that you're easygoing, that you're someone that their friends like. And that could be part of the reason why they want to have some boundaries. But it seems like you kind of showing up, being there, and almost like it's not necessarily like you are going to try and steal the spotlight, but it could be a concern that they have. Maybe, like I said, someone in their past maybe did, and you've got this like the energy coming from these cards is very much like this magic, even in this hunger. It's almost as if you are someone that a lot of people are drawn to and attractive, and people can lose their heads around you type of thing. So in terms of the weakness aspect, this Hermit, you have utility and advantage with this Cotton card. Let me take a look at these. There is a sense of maybe you being too willing to change your situation, to kind of like to go, it's like you can go with the flow in any direction, and you're so willing to do it. It's almost a sense of them maybe wondering if there is like, if you are on your own journey or if you are attached to theirs. So I would say, it could be a discussion that you guys have, or just kind of think about that. If you are making yourself available, if you are kind of jumping on every opportunity to show up, to be where they are, if it's a little bit kind of makes it hard to have some autonomy. That's the word I'm going for. So for your person, in terms of the connection, strength, and weakness of the relationship, let's see about, for them, this Four of Wands connection. We have maturity and experience with this Hababush. So spiritual maturity and boundaries. So for them, this connection, this Four of Wands, they feel like this connection that you're having, like the celebrating each other's individual milestones, and really kind of recognizing that you guys can be friends, you can have a good time together, you can go on your own journeys together. But with this maturity and experience, they might be older than you. They might have be further along in their education or their career, where they are really more serious, I would say. Not to say that you're not serious, not to say that you're like a kid or immature, but basically they are wanting to make sure that this connection that you have isn't just like maybe like fleeting and fun and just like for now. They are definitely the way they connect with you, they are looking at that connection from a more experienced, more mature point of view. So let's see about this strength. We have honeysuckle, ethereal beauty, and shyness. So for them, it may be like this back and forth that you have between the two of you. It could be that they are really, even though they are more mature or more experienced or older, whatever that case may be, they are shy. They allow you to take that more bold approach. They're just, what's the word I'm thinking? In this back and forth power play, it seems like you might get more of a thrill being in that like more forward, in charge, dominant role. And they're okay with that. They're good with that. But I think to some degree, they want to make sure that they're not letting you take up too much of that dominant role in their life if they're not ready for it. And in terms of the weakness, this Hermit, we have fertility and youth. So it seems like there is a concern about you being a little bit younger, playful, and wondering if this is like, if you really need to go on your own journey and this is maybe a pit stop. It's kind of like they're really drawn to you. They are like, the thing that attracts them to you is the thing that they are concerned about as well. Like this aspect of you having like a vivacious energy and like really like passionate, and this hunger. Like it's whether or not you are not serious. Like that's kind of the sense that I'm getting, just like on a different level and not necessarily serious about things. And definitely it's almost like a catch-22. It's like you're trying to be more available for them, like, bend to whatever it is they might want to do, so that you can be like, hey, I'm down for this. I'm let's do this together. I can be whatever you want almost. And then them kind of being like, well, if you can kind of be whatever I want, and you can, on a whim, decide to do this and then that, and then kind of show up in this mood and have all this energy and be so like seductive. What if you are like that with other people? Or what if this is like temporary? What if this is like only what people do when they're like infatuated and not necessarily serious about a relationship? So now we're going to take a look at what you can do or what you need to address here with this Three of Swords. We have here blessings. So it's almost a sense of like making sure that you kind of slow things down and be in the moment. Make sure that you are kind of getting a good sense of the environment before kind of making any big decisions or small decisions. Kind of like just being there and not necessarily I would say not necessarily being so bold. It's almost like in this strength, like this give and take, it's almost like when you're alone, this works best. But when you're with other people, maybe just like take a beat to kind of recognize what's going on, and not necessarily make things happen or what's the word? Slow things down a little bit. Just kind of get a sense of, just be in touch with the environment and read the room and see if kind of taking a step back is needed or not. And we have this card of abundance. So definitely kind of like with this garden aspect, it's like keep doing what you're doing in terms of going after what you want. Like I said, it is like a catch-22, but I would say kind of pausing and a sense of like humbleness every now and then might go a long way for them, might make it seem like, like if you enjoy something, just kind of like sitting on your own and appreciating it, and have them come up and say, oh, what's going on? It's like, oh, I really enjoy watching the birds eating off of this tree branch. Or I really was just like appreciating the flowers. It's something where it's like it's almost allowing and seeing them kind of recognizing you interacting in the environment without being such a force of nature, but just like really just being there and appreciating it. I think that is going to surprise them or impress them. So let's see what else we have. We have here clear sailing. So interestingly, you have the Six of Swords, which is kind of a concept of clear sailing, or at least moving to a more peaceful, and you have peace and flow over here. So that seems to be their concern. The potential for this relationship seems to be their issues. It might not be a fight or an argument or something, but it's something that they are dealing with. They're wanting to put up boundaries. They want things peaceful and flowing. So it could be that for them, you're like, yeah, do what you want to do. But it could be something that they need to work through. And let's see, get one more. You have here this spring. So another card of like garden, abundance. And here with this butterfly, it's making me think of transformation. It's not saying that you have to change at all, but this kind of like concept of, seeing you like just appreciate nature, maybe see you kind of like in a different environment. So if you've only been in bars or restaurants, gyms with this other person, then taking a walk, like kind of slowing things down almost, and really connecting more with nature. And it might actually help them as well. It might show that you know, like you are not just looking for excitement all the time, and like not always trying to go to that next like adventure or, you know, wild moment. But if it's truly them you're connecting with, that it's, you just want to spend time with them, that you yearn for them, that you're hungry for them, and excited to spend time with them, and not necessarily an experience that anyone can just, you know, fit the bill for. So let's see for them what they can do or what they need to address here for this to be successful going forward. So they really need to deal with something in their own past. They need to let go of what's not for their best and highest good. This could be a person that they're still connected with. It could be something they just haven't dealt with, but they really need to work on that for themselves. And we have this potential here. So interestingly, this is like, it's making me think of like a volcano erupting. So if there is potential for like anger issues or temper to flare, it's something for them to really recognize and get under control. But they also have to recognize that there is potential there for your connection, and they need to allow for that, allow for you to kind of show up however you need to show up. You know, all these kind of suggestions that I threw out here, you can ignore them, you can be you can do what, you know, your higher self wants you to do, or even your, you know, your Queen of Wands self. You have this continue with these blocks here. So they need to really work on a solid foundation for them. I'm going to pull one more card, but it does seem, I'm not saying anybody is perfect or imperfect, but it seems like this holdup here has to do maybe their experience, them having maybe a bad experience, either in dating or with someone that they trusted and cared about. But it seems like they have some kind of rebuilding to do with themselves. And here we have this wish granted card for them. So kind of recognizing like you are kind of what they need. It's like they're drawn to you with this Ace of Wands because there's something that you have that they need, that they want. And ultimately, they have to deal with that, what's it called? That catch-22 of why it is they're drawn to you, but also might think they have to push you away or kind of keep you at arm's length because of those things. So group number 2, this is what I have for you. I hope it provides a helpful perspective of whether you and your person are meant to be, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is a reading for group number 3, those who picked Witchy Magic Tarot to explore whether you and the person on your mind are meant to be. So we are going to start with some tarot cards and then get into some oracle cards to find out what's going on with your person, what's going on with your connection, and whether it's meant to last. So group number 3, you have the 9 of Cups, representing you, your current feelings and outlooks about the connection and your approach. So you're feeling pretty good about this connection. You're feeling positive. It's fulfilling you. And it's a sense of like, maybe you're happier than you've been in some time. Or it's helping you recognize like how happy you are, or like basically what it is that you feel that you're looking for, you're actually getting in life. So in terms of your partner, we have here the Five of Swords. So their current outlook is a bit conflicted. It could be that they are expecting things to be combative, expecting some kind of arguments to take place for whatever reason. So let's see what the connection is between the two of you. You have here the Page of Pentacles. So perhaps you are both kind of in a period where you're learning to be more independent. Perhaps you both enjoy being out in nature or to work with your hands. In general, like curious and seeing what you can do, like seeing what you can kind of create and put out there. So that's something that you have in common. In terms of the strength of your connection, you have the Three of Swords. So I'm not sure if this is like your ability to kind of fight and make up, because your partner seems here to be ready for fights. So let's see what the weakness is. You have the Knight of Cups. So it seems like where you need to improve is a little bit more modesty and coming from the heart, or at least that's with them. In terms of what needs to be addressed for the relationship to be successful, you have the Four of Swords. So you've got the 3, 4, and 5 of Swords here. So it seems like clearing the air, like there must have been some type of argument or disappointment that your partner is not quite over, because they are pretty much in an attitude of like possibly going to walk away if things get too what's the word, heated, too complicated, too stressful. So let's see what the potential is for you and this person in terms of the relationship. You got here the Six of Pentacles. So there needs to be a little bit more give and take here for this connection to last. So since you are like in a really good place, it could be that you are not necessarily communicating well with your partner and recognizing what they're going through. At the bottom of the deck, the influencing energy is the Five of Pentacles. So this is a card of, again, fives. Fives is about instability. So right now I'd say this connection is pretty unstable or not consistently stable. And so the potential, like kind of almost like what you need to learn is to get out of this Five of Pentacles and more into this aspect of balance and harmony between the two of you, putting in like a little bit more equal. So, and it doesn't mean necessarily resources need to be put in here, but attention, needing to be there to kind of hear them out, and then kind of also kind of say, okay, well, what do you think you need to kind of clear your head? This Four of Swords, what you need some time out. There's a lot of stress going on. Would taking time away from me help you out? Maybe it wouldn't. But ultimately, the weakness here is the Knight of Cups. So there is something where this inability to kind of really be vulnerable. That's kind of like a sense of what's going on there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some more cards here for you, group number 3, and find out in terms of your current feelings, what's going on. So you've got this Sacred Woman card here. So you are in a place of, you are taking up space. You don't need to apologize for it. You have your wants, you have your needs, you have your goals. You're going to make sure that you make that happen and that people recognize that you are a force that is to be respected and to be revered and not to like mess around with. So let's see, like basically that's kind of it, you know, maybe they kind of, I don't know if they're feeling challenged by you, but they can't maybe recognize that you aren't gonna back away from something that you think matters, and you're not gonna stand for playing, you know, fool for someone. You have this space card. I was saying, like, you are not afraid to take up space. Like, you basically will, right now you're making sure that where you are, you're filling that space with everything that you want, you know, from your heart chakra. From, like, if you're wanting this connection to work out, you are kind of being like, that's what I want. That's the viewpoint I'm going to have. You have this card of abundance. So you are very much in a, like, limitless possibilities, abundant mindset. I think it's interesting. You've got this like heart chakra here and this abundance card. And it's like what's going to be taking up space, this green heart chakra here. And this 9 of Cups, you got a lot of green in the background here. So it could be that you have in the past dealt with, you know, crap that you're no longer going to deal with. You're maybe wiser, older, and have more standards. So let's see what's going on with this person here, with their attitudes, their emotions. So we have the worthiness card for your person. They're really working on their sense of value in terms of what it is they should stand up for, what they should want for themselves, recognizing a sense of value for themselves, which could be why you've got the concept of the 5 of Pentacles here at the bottom, and then the 6 of Pentacles being like the potential for this person to be the one, and like kind of like what needs to be learned here. So this aspect of they need to kind of get to a point where they know what's worth fighting for. And with this 5 of Swords, it's a sense of you fight for almost everything, even things that don't matter, because your ego gets involved there. When you know what matters, and first and foremost, when you know that you as yourself, your feelings, your sense of your own truth, that is what matters first and foremost, then you're willing to walk away from things that just don't matter because there's like a higher perspective. So it seems like your person is kind of trying to figure that out for themselves. So let's take a look at what else we have here. You have this illumination card. So for your person, group number 3, it's a sense of like they are really trying to rise above in a way that they might not know how. It might be that right now they think their worthiness is based on like being smarter or more educated or knowledgeable than someone else. And there's this card of sadness. So group number 3, it seems like, interestingly, group number 3, you've got this card number 3 in the center, the 3 of Swords with this sadness here. So there is something that either your connection is triggering for your person, or there's something from their past that they really have taken with them into the connection with you that they're really kind of trying to work on here. So let's get some more cards to find out about you and your person in terms of the connection, the strength, and the weakness. So it could be, you've got these really like strong cards here to indicate your sense of self. And it could be that the strength is that, you are serving as a role model to your person, like how to start putting up barriers. But the thing is, it could be that you are in this area of like healing or having been healed, and they are kind of trying to figure out how to heal a little bit. So let's see for you in this Page of Pentacles, the connection for you, what that is. We have pokeweed, change, and movement. So group number 3, for you, like what binds you together is that you see them making a change, maybe trying to take action, and that's something that you feel like has really helped you, like kind of just like not being stagnant in your life. So it could be you're drawn to that aspect of them. In terms of the strength for the 3 of Swords, you have tobacco, controversy, paradox. So group number 3, it's like you are this concept of controversy and paradox. It's like almost this person might not be good for you, or that they're in a period of time where they're repairing the damage from their past, and it could be that it makes it easier for you. It might not be that you're someone using your brute force, your severe confidence to like make them feel inferior, but it also is that you don't have to deal with maybe them talking back too much or kind of putting in their own opinion, because it's like they're feeling a little bit threatened, and so they just kind of step back. It might show up differently for each of you, but if you kind of understand that there is some damage being repaired in their life, it's almost like you want to help heal that, or it makes it easier for you to kind of be in a space with someone who isn't as threatening. And in terms of the weakness here with the Knight of Cups in your relationship, like what needs to be improved upon, you've got this fertility and youth. So for some of you, it's a sense of like the weakness of your relationship is, you might be older, they might be younger, or vice versa. But it's a sense of like wanting to please the other person, wanting the other person to like you, or this person here with this worthiness, it could be that they do a lot to get you to like them, and they're impressionable, so it seems like a little can go a long way with them. So let's see, and it's not saying that you're intentionally taking advantage of this. It just seems like that might be the way to that this is kind of occurring for you. So let's see for your person in terms of your connection, the strength and the weakness of your relationship, what we have here. So for them, the Page of Pentacles is rabbit tobacco, optimism, and gladness. So it seems like this aspect of like curiosity or learning something new. For you, it's like change and movement that bring you together, and for them, it's like they see you being maybe more positive about the potential of your relationship, or just like being overall in a good mood, even though they're prepared for things to turn not good. It could be that they're like learning to have a positive relationship with you. Like maybe they've just had bad luck in the past, and this maybe slow approach to whatever it is that you've got going on between the two of you. They're really at least enjoying the pace of this, and they're kind of enjoying the aspect of almost a little bit of ease, a little bit of relaxation, but not quite healing that Three of Swords. So let's take a look at that. We have Joe Pye Weed, perceptiveness, and vision. So for them, in terms of the strength of the relationship, this Three of Swords here, it could be just like you're helping them see something from a different perspective. You're helping them see what things, that aspect of worthiness, maybe of themselves. You're helping them to see that. Let's take a look at the Knight of Cups, which is the weakness in the relationship. You have wild cherry, passion, and fire. So it does seem that this Knight of Cups, you've got passion, fire, and the strawberries, fertility, youth. It's almost like the weakness is, it could be the infatuation. It could be sexual attraction. It could be more that the reasons for the infatuation might be not one-sided, not fully well-rounded, but based off of them kind of seeing you in a certain way, and from a perspective of them being damaged a little bit and needing to heal from that, and kind of it's like the weakness here of this Knight of Cups is where you need to kind of put this like balance and harmony. Like if there is a sense of infatuation for them more so than you for them, kind of like balancing that out. And also it's almost like they would do anything for you, and here it's going to stress them out unless they feel they are worth something being done for them. Like almost like they are okay with you having everything good, you feeling good. I'm not going to say, it's almost like they're okay with you using them, or possibly them using you to kind of get out of this funk. That's kind of like the rub on this. So let's take a look at this concept of like what needs to be addressed for this to be a successful relationship with this Four of Swords. Like really taking some time to assess what's gone on in the past, to like kind of get out of that mindset a little bit. It's like they are so damaged and maybe spiteful to some degree about connections, about relationships. So I'm going to start with them. So like in terms of what needs to be addressed for them, you have this Winter card. So it's a sense of like there's something like not cold but vindictive in terms of the suit of swords, element of air. There is a sense of like coldness, even with this sadness card that's blue. The element of air seems to have that sense of like lack of emotion, or not really a good sense or balance of emotions or understanding of true emotions, because it's more logical. And it seems for them, they're really caught up in this like concept of logic being the source of that happiness, but really they need to be more in touch with their heart, like truly vulnerable. And so for them, they need to kind of work on that concept of more passion, like more fire, more sensuality, like focusing on those things and not necessarily aspects of just logic, reason, and kind of, well, if this, then that, because it's based on trying to get something as an outcome or an expectation being met, as opposed to a genuine feeling on their end, like a concept of giving or something. It seems like they haven't quite figured out how to be in a place of mutual giving and receiving. So what else do we have? We have wish granted. So to me, it's a sense of, like, how I was saying, like, it's something that they want, because logically that's what you get. Like, you spend time with each other, you date, you hook up. That's what's supposed to happen when you say you like each other and you spend time with each other and you are intimate with each other. You hook up. That's what it is. You are together. You're in a relationship. That's what you do. But in terms of, like, actually feeling connected, it seems like this person needs to be more in touch with their own feelings before they can really truly be in a giving relationship with anyone else. So we have here delight. So this person needs to address this concept of really being happy. They have this concept of sadness, but to be in an energy of delight, you have to be aware of your environment. You have to slow things down. You have to connect to your environment. You have to know how you feel. You have to be wanting to engage your senses and recognize what's good and being able to feel that. So let's see what else for your person. So there's this card of stillness. And again, there's that concept of things being like a frozen tundra here. So they need to kind of be in a place of stillness, like this Four of Swords. They need to take time for themselves. They need to slow things down. They have to be aware of their emotions and how they feel. It's as if this concept of worthiness is streaming throughout their entire existence. So that really needs to happen. And it's not necessarily about talking through it. They need some time on their own. And it's not saying that if you guys are in a relationship, they have to just totally like end things, but it's as if they are prepared for the worst, regardless of what you do. And they need to kind of be in a place where they are emotionally better. Maybe they are attracted to you because you're helping them, depending on the extent of how deep-seated these like thoughts are, these pains, disappointments are. Maybe they need to speak to like a professional, qualified person. But let's see for you what this means. You have this fall card. So to some degree, to me, it seems like they have this, for them, they have winter. For you, it has fall. So there's this sense of warmness as opposed to winter. So go ahead and keep being like happy, warm, connected to your environment. And maybe I take that as taking like a step back, fall back a little bit, giving them some time. And then we have here gaining speed. So that's interesting. in terms of like what you can do or what needs to be addressed. So since you are in this place of abundance and you have this like sacred woman, it doesn't matter what, sex, gender you identify with, it's this energy of like taking up space and not needing to get permission or apologize how you are, because what you're doing comes from the heart. You can just go ahead and even maybe say, hey, I'm going to take some time for myself so that you can have time for yourself. Like maybe you guys are really spending more time together, or kind of your things are going faster than a healthy progression, and however you subjectively find that healthy for you or for them is going, and kind of just say, I'm going to take a step back, and this is why. Like, I care about you. I want you to be able to kind of go through some things so that you can show up and be there because you want to be there, and not necessarily because you think I want you there, or you feel like I want you there, but kind of basically you've reflected on things, and you can do whatever you want. This is your life. These are just cards. But it seems like they would definitely respect whatever your opinion is. So you have this simplicity card here. So group number 3, what you can do to help this connection be successful is to kind of make it simple. Like, try not to clutter things up in the relationship. Maybe not necessarily expect them to show up and be there for you, because they need to work on themselves. And it's, if it's not saying that you shouldn't ask for anything, if you feel that you want to, like, definitely go ahead and do that. But it's a sense of needing to simplify things so that they are not in this like combative mode, that they are almost like they have to get past their ego and into their emotions, and being more vulnerable. When things are simple, it's maybe less that they're trying to try to game or try to anticipate. So here we have relaxation. So group number 3, it's a sense, just kind of almost like relax, keep things simple, keep, filling your space with positivity, and kind of maybe let them do what they need to do so that they are becoming more aware of who they are, how they feel, dealing with this sadness, and really tapping into a sense of their emotions, their environment, and slowing things down so they can get a sense of their senses, what it is they feel, how they feel about being where they are, and really working through that. So group number 3, I hope this provides a helpful perspective of whether you and your person are meant to be, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is a reading for group 4, those who picked Love Story Oracle, to explore whether you and the person on your mind are meant to be. So I'm going to shuffle these up and get some more Oracle cards to see what is going on with your person, with your connection, and whether it is meant to last. So group number 4, this card of balance represents you, your feelings, your outlook, your approach with this relationship. It's a sense of making sure there's a sense of balance and harmony, really wanting to focus on that give and take aspect between you. In terms of your person, they are in a bit of confusion. Maybe their attitude is a little hot and cold, or they're not sure what they want. You're not sure what they want in this connection. In terms of the connection, what brings you together, it's like you're both showing up, like you're both texting, or someone's saying you want to get together, the other person saying yes. One person says we should do this again, the other person says that sounds great. So you're both definitely putting in the effort to make this connection work, though you might not exactly know where you want it to go. In terms of the strength of the connection or the relationship, it's like you both have gotten to a point where you know what you don't want to deal with. You've kind of recognized things haven't worked out for you in the past, maybe not necessarily with this person. It could be that you have had an ongoing relationship with this person and you have been able to kind of make things okay, and not really sure where it's going to go in terms of its progression forward. So whether this is something new, whether this is something old in terms of the connection, this concept of forgiveness is kind of like you've both on your own terms have owned up to how you have gotten to where you are in life, in this relationship. Might not necessarily know where to go forward, but know how you've gotten where you are and are okay with that. And in terms of the weakness in your relationship, what needs to improve upon, you do have this soul connection. So it could be that this is something that you feel comfortable with each other, but even though you don't know where it's going or why, but there is a sense of a soul connection, or almost like a repeated cycle. So it's either this person or a level of familiarity with this person, or with the way things are going with this person. It is almost what would keep things going in this manner, or have kept things going in this manner. So in terms of what needs to be addressed for the relationship to be successful, you have this card of maturity. So group number 4, it's a sense of this aspect of forgiveness, and then kind of like, okay, well, I know where I am now. What am I willing to like move away from? What am I willing to accept or not accept? And how am I going to grow as an individual? So here it may be that one of you is working on it as opposed to the other. You're really wanting it to be the both. And in terms of the potential for this person to be the one for you and whether it will last, you have this freedom card. So it is a sense not necessarily of freedom in the terms of leaving and going off. For some of you it is. Some of you it's the potential is this is too confining and won't last, but I get more of a sense of individual freedom, and recognizing that there is a need for, I'm going to take a step back. Most people, when it comes to the idea of freedom in a relationship, they kind of maybe blame the other person, or make it seem like, well, I can't do that because I'm with somebody. And for me to feel free to do what I want, I need to be single or not with this person. But with this card of freedom, to me, it's more like you have to recognize, each person has to recognize they're free to be who they are. And this aspect of strength here, what's kind of making this relationship ongoing, is kind of like, okay, you both recognize where you are, but what are you going to do now? Like the individual freedom to be the person you're meant to be, and this person in this relationship or whoever just being an icing on the cake, but not necessarily determining who you are, what your likes are, where you're going to go in life. And here at the bottom of the deck, we have hope as the influencing energy here, group number 4. So it's not like this is set in stone, that this is going to work or not going to work, but it's more concepts of maturity and freedom, and taking on the responsibility of having agency over your own life and not making it because of someone else that you can't do this or can't do that. Like, both of you, if you both can kind of have that agency and actively knowing how, like, what isn't serving you, what is serving you, and you each kind of going on your own life trajectory and recognizing that you are drawn together and want to be together, as opposed to like, this is just comfortable and I don't know what to do otherwise. So for this is kind of represents you with this balance, like kind of like where you're going with a sense of worthiness. So it could be that you are really trying to embrace this sense of inner balance with yourself, and then making sure that is being the reflection of what's going on around you. A sense of really, it's almost like you recognize that the issue with your relationship does stem from what it is that you want in life, what it is that you are going to be fulfilled by, and that this relationship isn't the end all be all. You have disruption here. So it is a sense of you like wanting, maybe feeling like things are a little bit stagnant or have been stagnant when it comes to your life or your desires. Like, what's gonna like bust out of the like bust you out of either boredom or monotony, or like just like a sense of not necessarily passion, but what's gonna make you just like spark, like feel like alive almost. Like, that's kind of what you are working on. And here it is like you're going through the motions for this, but in terms of like something to like just almost take your breath away, in terms of like lighting you up. And it's not passion, it's almost like getting you out of not a funk, what's the word I'm thinking of, like it's going on an escalator. You're on an escalator and it's going the same space, it's got the same degree of incline, and you're kind of just like wanting something, just maybe just like to run up the escalator or something. It's like to break the monotony. And you have this card of caution. So it seems like it's like you really want to do something carefree or have something carefree happen, but you're very much wanting to make sure that you're safe in that process and it's the right direction to go. So it's like you want to like do something like run up the escalator, but there's something saying you shouldn't run up an escalator. That's not something that might be safe. Like, it's not that you can't do it. It's just like you got to take a look and see what's there. So let's see for your person with their confusion. We have here serendipity. So what they're like hoping for, it's almost as if they're hoping that the stars will align and things will happen a way that is just meant to be and will explain for them. It's not, serendipity isn't a bad card, but with confusion, it's almost as if they are like wanting things to happen that are amazing and good, but not sure how to make that happen, and kind of just want it to happen for them. So I mean, like for you, it's a little bit of the same. Like, you're wanting something amazing to happen, not sure how to do it, and maybe the ways you think of it happening, you are like, maybe I should do that to kind of like rip off a band-aid. Maybe I should just do this. And it's like, but maybe I shouldn't. They are in a bit of like, not sure, but like maybe something amazing will happen and that'll be cool. Like maybe if I go here, like I'll get a discount on a burger or something. That'd be cool. But it's not actively making either of you do anything other than just putting in effort to maintain the status quo. Okay, so we have here trip. Interesting, because you've got this person in a canoe. You've got this card of a trip. So it could be like they do think that this is hopefully going somewhere. Like it's almost like once it reaches the destination, that will explain what this is. Like they're just almost along for the ride until something or someone tells them otherwise, or life kind of throws something in there to be like, okay, that's it, or okay, that's the end of your journey, this is where you should go, and this concept of comfort. So they're enjoying the situation. They're okay with the status quo until something else tells them not, until the universe says no, or more. So they're okay with it, not sure exactly where it's going to go. So in terms of the connection, strength, and weakness, we're going to get some more information. So group number 4 for you. Let's see what's going on with this effort. Like, what does that mean for you? You've got mountain laurel, crisis, and troubles. So this kind of this effort putting you together, it's like not necessarily, I don't like this sounding as the way it's going to sound, but it's almost as if like the effort that you're putting into this connection, or what's kind of brings you together, is that it's better than being alone, that it's not a horrible relationship, that it is like it's something that you can handle, and it's a lot less worse than something else. So sorry if that sounds bad, but that's kind of what I get from mountain laurel. This is kind of like something that's attractive, like it's pretty flowers, but it's also thorny and can really get thick. And so if you try to like take a shortcut through there, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get out of it, because you're going to get stuck in it, and it's going to be a lot worse than you thought. So that's kind of like, it's attractive, but also not amazing. But this has to do with your effort that you're putting in. So it's almost like you're trying to, like the effort you're putting in is because like you're either stuck in this, or it's better than being stuck in that. So let's take a look at this strength of the relationship being forgiveness. You've got watermelon, responsibility, and empathy. So group number 4, you are coming from a place of like owning up, and recognizing some things that you've done in the past, whether it's with this person, not this person, other people, not even in romantic settings, just who you are with people in general, like how you're showing up. It's almost like the worthiness aspect. You're like okay with it. You're like, I understand what I've done with your, this aspect of forgiveness. You're like, I get it. I take responsibility for this. I'm in this relationship because of these things, and I'm like on this, path with this person because of that. I own it. And it's not like a punishment or anything. It's just a acknowledgement. It's kind of trying to have some agency in your life of where you are, and owning who you are in this moment. So let's see what this weakness being this soul connection. Like, we have here water hemlock, subversion, and defeat with this soul connection. So it's almost like this concept of the company that you keep, knowing that things might not, it's like not be great. And ultimately, it could be that this comfort could be like something that you are kind of putting yourself in a situation that's not good for you because of a connection that you've had with this person, or this type of person, or repeated things. It's a sense of like the people around you will kind of add to your downfall. So if you are finding yourself in a situation where you're just comforted, or you feel like it's like the devil you know versus the devil you don't, that's kind of what I'm getting there. So this is a very interesting reading so far. So let's see for them, your person here, in terms of the effort. We have Maypop, interconnection, synergy. Okay, so for your person, it could be like this confusion for them, and the serendipity is like they are more spiritual, or they are more, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like just okay with whatever comes along. They don't have any set like markers or standards. It's like they're very free loving. And so here, in terms of the connection, the effort they're putting into it, it's like you're both showing up. You're both kind of like feeding off of each other's energy for whatever reason, for whatever purpose or intention. And so like for them, the effort they're putting into it is like definitely like you're putting in effort, so they're putting in effort. There's like not a plan. They're just kind of like going with the flow almost. So in terms of that forgiveness being the like qualities that keep things going, we've got poison ivy, irritability, and profanity. So it could be like they let you be who you are. Maybe you're someone that is like irritable, does get spicy with your attitude or your language, and they're just cool with it. They're just like go with the flow, easy, laid back. They don't really have concerns. So let's see what this soul connection is for them in terms of the weakness. We have Pawpaw, celebration, fruits of labor. So here, to me, the weakness being the soul connection, it's like they get to, it's like easy for them. Like they feel comfortable with you, that they maybe feel like this is meant to be for now. And so whether this is a repeated pattern for you or them, this is like kind of like how they roll. So basically, if they're not putting a ton of effort in, but they're kind of just putting in enough effort and you're rolling with it, that works for them. Because like this is their jam a little bit. So let's get into this aspects of maturity and freedom for the potential for a successful relationship, like what it is that you can do or what needs to be addressed by you so that this relationship can succeed. We have create magic. So if you need to have some disruption, if you want to like have like some spark of life, it seems like you're going to have to create that. Come up with new date ideas. Maybe have a date night where you draw, where you, I saw this YouTube video, cheap date ideas, or I'd say inexpensive date ideas, going to a Salvation Army and getting an inexpensive oil painting and painting like stuff in the background. Like this one was for Halloween, so they had like cute ghost town that they created out of a farm painting or something. So here it's a sense of like needing to create magic in your own life. I just gave you a suggestion about creating magic in the relationship, but it's more about you. Doing things that will light you up. And kind of like making things more blingy and pizzazzy for you. And you have wish granted. This has come up a few times in these readings. So it's a sense of like, if you want to go do something, if you want to like go out there and spend a weekend by yourself reading a book and don't want to be like going on dates or texting with people, then say, hey, I'm going to go on a weekend by myself and I'm going to read books. I'm going to do drawings. I'm going to color in my coloring book. Like, you want to do something, go ahead and do it. You don't need to have it be because of someone else or in relation to anyone else or feel like you can't do it because of anyone else. Like a sense of you really taking control of your own growth and fulfillment and maturity. So group number 4, let's see what else we have here for you. We'll take these 2. Okay. We got embracing and potential, and I swear these 2 came out in another one as well. For this embracing card, group number 4, it's a sense of really embracing your emotions. If you are suppressing your emotions, spend some time actually embracing them. Feel things out. How do you feel? How can you actually get in touch with your emotions? If you feel like you're suppressing your emotions, why are you suppressing your emotions? If you're not talking to someone about your emotions, why aren't you talking about? Why are you kind of maybe it's this caution card. Like, what is it that you're afraid of here? And really just embrace who you are based on your experiences and what you want, not necessarily trying to accomplish anything with respect to someone else. Like this balance, I think you really need to focus it on yourself a lot more than you have been. And in terms of this potential here, it is kind of recognizing opportunities not only for your relationship but for yourself. Are you avoiding something in your personal life by focusing on this connection or connections with people in general? What is it that you are almost afraid of? Because you have this crisis, trouble, responsibility, empathy, subversion, defeat. It's almost like these cards are a sense of you being ready for things like the other shoe to drop and wanting something exciting, but almost afraid of something exciting happening at the same time. So for your person over here, let's see what it is that they can do or what they need to address for this to be successful. I guess all these cards. So we got take flight, dig deep, dream big. These are almost a sense of they're just doing their own thing. These are just in that concept of confusion. It's like they are trying to rise above, they're trying to get down deep, they're trying to have it all. But it's just way too much. So they're just gonna just go on a trip. For whatever reason, this person kind of seems like, if you ever saw Dazed and Confused, that movie Dazed and Confused, it's like characters in Dazed and Confused that I'm thinking of. Take a chill pill, man. That type of vibe from your person over here. So let's take a look at what else is going on here. Let's see here. We have focus. So for them to really hit this aspect of maturity and freedom, they really need to focus on something. So all these like confusion, serendipity, they are all over the place almost. And this concept of focus, it could be like getting off substances, or maybe picking one substance, really getting rid of like clutter in their life, and kind of seeing where they want to go in the first place. And then we have here transformation. So for your person here, this may pop interconnection, synergy, this concept of freedom, transformation. Like they are really having to do a lot of this growing. Everyone has to do growing. Everyone can benefit from growing. But for them, there's a bigger transformation that needs to take place. For them, it may be that they need to buckle down a little bit and then kind of go through transformation after they buckle down. Once they see what their main focus in life is, or what it is they might want, and then kind of go from there. So I feel like it's a longer journey for them. So group number 4, this is what I have for you. I hope that this reading provides a helpful perspective of whether you and your person are meant to be, and we'll see you next time. Take care.